Good afternoon everyone, this is Connor from Zenfinex back with more market analysis for 2021. Today I'm going to be covering another market which does not seem to get the attention I think it deserves from a retail trading point of view. This is the Palladium market, which briefly touched $3,000 per ounce this year, which actually was an all-time high. I'm going to be covering what Palladium actually is, why the price is so high due to its uses in the economy, and where price could be heading for the rest of this year. Okay, so what actually is Palladium? Well, it is a shiny white metal, just like platinum is. The majority of the world's palladium comes from Russia and South Africa, and most of it is extracted as a byproduct in the mining of other metals, usually like platinum and nickel as well. And it's actually a metal which is more valuable than gold at the moment, and it's trading near $3,000 per ounce, which is a remarkable recovery from the pandemic when we saw quite a big slump. And more importantly, why is it so valuable? Well, palladium is a critical component in the manufacturing of catalytic converters. These converters help actually reduce toxic emissions, and as a result, 9.6 million ounces of palladium, or 84% of total demand, are used in this automotive manufacturing annually. Therefore, the push for more energy efficient vehicles are meaning that long-term demand for palladium is likely to remain extremely high. Now, palladium also has critical sourcing problems, critical supply problems, that keeps really its supply limited despite this increase in demand that we see. Now, despite a sharp production uptick from South Africa and a record amount of palladium recycled in 2020, demand is still soaring way above the supply levels. This again, as we know, is likely to keep the price of palladium high. And to put this into context for a second, 2021 will mark the 10th consecutive year that palladium has maintained a supply deficit. So you can see there's real supply issues at the moment. Now, the reason for it is palladium is a scarce resource really in the Earth's crust, and it's really hard to mine. 75% of all mined palladium comes from South Africa and Russia, and South Africa was hit particularly hard in the COVID crisis, but production is likely to rebound strongly this year, just not to those demand levels that we see. And finally, we have the likelihood of palladium shrugging off inflation concerns. Now, many investors will wonder how inflation, just like they do with gold, and a commodity super cycle really might impact the price of palladium. But it has been argued that because palladium is an industrial metal and not an investment metal, inflation is not likely to be too relevant to pricing. So its main real scare on prices could be overcome already, which really sets a nice bullish tone for palladium going into the chart. Okay, so moving on to the chart now, I'm going to have a look. Based on what I've just gone through on the PowerPoint in there, you can probably tell that selling palladium will be a really short-term thing. I do see price potentially going higher than $3,000 per ounce by the end of the year. And you can see that where we had this massive slump from the pandemic, actually presented a really nice buying opportunity. Since then, we've been in a nice clear uptrend, and you can see that we had this all-time high created not too long ago really. Back in April 2021 is when we started to look at all-time highs. Since then, it's been a bit of a few legs down, and we are creating a couple of, shall we say, lower highs, and we're at a really key level at the moment that I will go through maybe on a 4-hour chart as well. So where do I see levels to look out for? Well, I think first of all, I would aim for this all-time high level at 3,000. You can move it down to 3,000 if you think that psychological level will act as resistance straight away. So that would be my take profit for 2021, my first take profit. I'm also looking at potentially price reaching around 3,100 by the end of the year would be great as well. For the moment though, we do look like we're correcting on the market, should we say. You can see that the RSI has now started to change momentum to the downside, and we have had this cross and break below of the 50-day moving average, but I wouldn't worry about that too much because That has happened before, and we have actually just snapped back above. The 200-day moving average is something that acts as a lot better support for this market, which means that we could get a buying opportunity down at around 2,500, which is where the 200-day moving average is sitting. If I go down onto the 4-hour chart, you can see we're at this quite key level at the moment. Will the market go and make another leg lower, or will this level hold like when it created this double bottom here? And I'm going to mark that level because you could actually argue this is our 4-hour order block if I zoom right in on this price. Hi guys, thank you for listening to this video. Just really quickly wanted to touch on a really exciting offer we have on the website. It's a limited time offer, and if you head over to zenfinex.co.uk, you will see the offer in front of you straight away. And this is that you can trade Forex on a standard account with raw spread plus 0 commission. And now Zenfinex is also an FCA and no dealing desk execution broker. If you are interested in this offer, you can get in touch with the team by clicking learn more, or you can simply go to open an account where you can start the application process. This was the last piece of selling pressure we had before we run up and we actually broke a couple of mini highs. Here. And another one here. I'll get rid of the moving averages, we don't need them for this 4-hour chart. Now you can see the price run up and broke this structure. I know we have made a few lower highs, we have kind of just eased our way down into this level. We've had a nice wick from it, not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5 times now, and we're once again testing this level once more. Now if you thought, well, that's enough for me to have a buying opportunity, then you could long this market straight from this 4-hour order block with your take profit first of all at these highs, these highs at around, where is it, 2,870, 2,900-ish. That's about a 7.61R trade. If I move down onto the 1-hour chart, just to see some context here, we could, if you wanted to, I won't refine it, I'll actually keep the 4-hour order block in there as well, but we do have this level on the 1-hour chart which hasn't actually been tested yet, nearly tested here. It's the same break of structure, the same break of the highs, just more zoomed in, and you can see that this level here, which is at around 2737, is a really small stop loss. So I'll be waiting for price to run into this level, and I wouldn't necessarily buy straight from the market because the stop loss really is tiny. It could just run all the way through. But I'd go even on a lower time frame once we're in this level, see if we can get a break of structure, or maybe on the 5-minute chart or the 1-minute chart as well. If price was to run down and break below this level, then I do see more downside potentially to, just want to see if I can get it on the chart for you, towards something like this. That would be a break of structure to the downside. This would be a potential another buying opportunity, or you could keep selling until you see the market change structure, shall we say. The only way I see the real long-term trend of Palladium changing is if we get a break all the way below to 2,300, something like that. We get a break below there, which I want to mark as really the floor of the market. Then I'd think, potentially we're looking at a change in trend, but until then I'm going to be a buyer of dips of this market for the rest of 2021, judging by the going off the fundamentals that we had on the chart as well. That is it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this Palladium video. If you could please like and subscribe to this channel, it helps support our channel a lot. And please drop any comments you have in on the comment section. I know this is a market that people don't tend to trade, so hopefully I've given you a clear overview of what Palladium is, why it's so valuable, and some potential buying opportunities on the chart and where we could be heading for the rest of 2021. Cheers guys, take care.